Hello everyone, this is class 10th, subject English, chapter 4, A Question of Trust, and poem 4, How to Tell Wild Animals. From How to Tell Wild Animals is taken from First Flight book, and A Question of Trust, this chapter is taken from Footprints Without Feet, and this is my revision lecture. Topics to be covered today. First of all, we shall discuss summary of the poem. Fourth, that is how to tell wild animals. After that, we shall discuss main points of the chapter 4, that is a question of trust. And at last, we shall discuss the homework solution of lecture 3 of letter writing, which is complaint letter. So let us begin with the summary of the poem Fourth, How to Tell Wild Animals. How to Tell Wild Animals, summary of the poem. This poem is written by Carolyn Wells. The poet is describing the various wild animals in this poem. This poem is actually a humorous poem, and this poem suggests some dangerous ways to identify wild animals. So these animals are very dangerous, and she has introduced them one by one in a very funny way. First of all, she gives a beautiful description of the Asian lion and the Bengal tiger. Then she points out about the leopard and the bear, and she also describes the hyena for its smiling face and the crocodile for its tears. And at last she describes how the chameleon changes its color. So let us start. First of all, she tells us about an Asian lion. She says that if you are visiting the jungles of the east and there you see an animal which has tawny skin, means yellow brownish color skin, and he roars so loudly that you will die out of fear. This means that you have seen an Asian lion. So this is the identification of an Asian lion. The Asian lion has a large body, and it has tawny skin, it has a brownish color skin, and it roars very loudly. This is the identification of an Asian lion. Now the poet has told us how to identify the Bengal tiger. Next in the line is the Bengal tiger that she has explained to be a royal animal that at once attacks and kills a man. She says by adding humor that if this beautiful black striped animal kills you and eats you, then you have surely met a Bengal tiger. So the poet says that if while walking aimlessly a noble wild beast which has black stripes on yellow surface of the skin greets you, and if he starts eating you, then you can recognize that it is the Bengal tiger. But the poet warns us that it is better not to wait to be tiger's lunch to identify it. So this is the very funny way to identify a Bengal tiger. After this, she says that if the reader met an animal that has black spotted skin. So first of all, the poet has told us about an Asian lion. After that, Bengal tiger. Now Let us read how to recognize a leopard. So the poet says that if the reader met an animal that has black spotted skin and it at once jumps on you, then it means that the reader has met a leopard. This is the identification of a leopard, that its skin is covered with round small spots and he suddenly jumps at us. Moreover, she says that if one will cry out in pain, it may be of no use, as the leopard will not stop attacking him. So he is the leopard who will leap and leap again. So the poet warns us to be careful and not to allow it to leap on us. This is the identification of a leopard. Now let us move to the bear. After this, the poet or poetess moves on to the bear that she says will hug you very tightly. This is the way to recognize a bear, as it kills a person by hugging him very tightly. Means while walking around our courtyard, if we meet a creature there who hugs us very tightly with his arm, we are to be sure that it is a bear. So she says that the bear will continue to hug us tightly, and that is the only way to recognize him. So this is the way to recognize a bear. Now after bear, she has told us how to recognize, how to differentiate between the hyena and the crocodile. After this, she asks a question to the readers that do they know how to recognize beasts that hunt their prey? Here she explains about hyenas, which she thinks have a smiling face, and the crocodiles that have tears in their eyes. This can be seen when they are killing their prey. So the poet also mentions that a novice or someone who is new to a job will be confused and puzzled to differentiate between the animals who hunt and kill other animals for food. But even they can always differentiate between the hyena and the crocodile, as hyenas come with cheerful, lively smiles, and crocodiles always weep and shed tears. Now, at last, the poet has told us the features of a chameleon. The last one in the list is the chameleon. She says that it is a lizard-like creature which doesn't have ears and wings, just like a lizard. Only this can help you differentiate between a lizard and chameleon. She further says that the chameleon has a quality of changing its color according to the color of the surface. Means the poet says that a chameleon is a small lizard-like creature. The chameleon has neither ears nor wings. If we see nothing on the tree, there are chances that we are actually seeing a chameleon who changes its color according to its surrounding. So, this is the summary of the poem How to Tell Wild Animals. So here we have read about Asian lion, the Bengal tiger, then a leopard, after that a bear, then we have read about hyenas and crocodiles, and at last we have read the features of a chameleon. So, to explain this, she says that if the reader looks at the tree and if he can only see the tree, this means that there is a chameleon sitting on it which has already turned its color to brown, just like the branch of the tree. Now let us read the main point of chapter 4, A Question of Trust. Main points of the chapter, A Question of Trust, written by Victor Canning. First of all, chapter sketch. Horace Danby collects rare books and finances his hobby by breaking safes. This year, however, he is caught by a pretty young lady claiming to be the wife of the house owner. She tricks him into opening the safe and handing her the jewels. Horace is later arrested for the jewel robbery. Horace Danby is the main character of this chapter. About the characters, Horace Danby, he is a lock opening expert who is caught for a jewelry robbery by trusting a woman who pretended to be a family member of the owner. The unknown means the lady in red dress. A woman, she is a smart thief who uses Horace's lock opening skills to rob the jewelry from a safe, and she befooled Horace Danby very wisely. Horace Danby had a good reputation in the society. He was about 50 and unmarried. He made locks and had 2 helpers. He loved rare and expensive books. Horace robbed a safe every year. Horace Danby had a very different kind of hobby. He loved rare and expensive books. So to finance his hobby, he used to rob a safe every year. He was now out on committing a robbery this year also. He planned his robbery. He always carefully examined the house which he intended to rob. So that July he had planned to rob a house at Shotover Grange. So for 2 weeks Horace had studied the house of Shotover Grange. He had to burgle this house. Horace Danby entered the house. Horace had allergy from flour. He had hay fever. He started sneezing. So after studying minutely the location of rooms in the house, its electric wiring system, its paths and gardens, he investigated everything, and on the day of robbery, Horace knew that the family living there had gone to London. So he entered the house. But there, as he had hay fever, he started sneezing. Then he heard a voice. The voice told him that he could cure the sneeze. It was the voice of a woman. She also inquired which plants caused hay fever and sneezing and advised that he should better see a doctor. She stood in the doorway. She was young and pretty, and she pretended as if she was the owner of the house. Now, Horace Danby thought to run. His first thought was to run. The lady told him that she would telephone the police and she would tell them about him. So the lady warned Horace Danby to call the police, but Horace even threatened to cut the telephone wires. Horace Danby told him to let him go and forget she ever saw him. The lady put one condition for letting Horace go. Now, Horace asked her to let him go. She replied that she won't free a man who could rob anyone else as well. But Horace replied that he was not a threat to the society and he stole only for a good reason. So he begged her to leave him and promised to never do it again. So she told him that she had promised her husband to take her jewel to the bank. She had, however, left jewels in the safe. Now that lady in red dress lied. She framed a false story and she said that she had to wear the jewelry, but she had kept the jewelry in the safe. She told him that she wanted to wear the jewels in a party that night. She came down to get them, but she had forgotten the numbers to open the safe. So she needed his help, and Horace, without thinking anything, opened the safe for her. But here Horace Danby did a mistake. He removed his gloves and opened the safe without thinking about that lady. She was a thief, but Horace Danby thought that she was the lady of the house. After 2 days, a policeman had arrested him for the jewel robbery at Shotover Ranch. No one believed Horace's story that the wife of the owner of the house had actually asked him to open the safe. Danby's fingerprints were found all over the room. He had opened the safe without gloves. This was the problem. He said to the police that the landlady of the house said him to open the safe. But the lady was a 60-year-old woman. She said Danby's story is a nonsense. Now, no one believed Horace's story that the wife of the owner of the house had actually asked him to open the safe. It turned out that the young lady was in fact a smart thief, because the wife of the owner was actually a 60-year-old lady. At the end of the story, Horace had become the assistant librarian in the prison, but he often thought of the charming, clever young lady who was in the same profession as he was and who had tricked him. He was befooled by the lady in red dress. So these are the main points of the chapter, a question of trust. Now homework. Your homework is to read this chapter 4 and poem 4 carefully and revise all the questions and answers, summary and chapter highlight and main points of the chapter, and solve the assignment which is based on chapter 4, a question of trust, of Footprints Without Feet book, and poem 4, How to Tell Wild Animals of First Flight book. And this assignment is uploaded in homework column on AdQuark site. Now let us discuss the homework solution of lecture 3 of letter writing, that is complaint letter. This is class 10th, subject English. In our previous lecture, we read how to write complaint letter. One letter was given to you to write. So let us discuss that question. Question was, write a letter to Messrs. HMT Corporation, Chandigarh, complaining that the wristwatch you recently bought from them does not function properly and ask for replacement. You are Dipti or Deepak Gupta, 450 Sector 20, Chandigarh. So let us begin. So the format, as you know, of a formal letter is, first we write sender's address. So sender's address is given here, 450 Sector 20, Chandigarh. After that, after leaving one line, we write date. Then date is written. After that, receiver's address, Messrs. HMT Corporation, Customer Complaint Division, Chandigarh, name of the city. Then after leaving one line, salutation, sir or ma'am. After leaving one line, we write subject. Subject is complaint regarding functioning of watch and its replacement. Now let us see content. On May 27th, 2020, I bought a Titan watch, model number is mentioned here, worth rupees 5,500 from your store. Unfortunately, your product has not performed well. The watch doesn't work half the time despite several attempts at changing its battery. I am highly disappointed because such act of neglect is not expected from such a renowned store. To resolve the problem, I would appreciate you changing the watch with a new fully functioning model. I have the receipt intact. Enclosed are the copies of receipt along with the guarantee card. Means copy of receipt along with the guarantee card is attached with this letter. I look forward to your reply and a resolution to my problem, and will wait until a week before seeking help from a consumer protection agency. Please contact me at the above address or by phone at this number. Number is mentioned here. So this was the content or body of the letter, and at last, subscription. Yours sincerely. The name is already given, Dipti or Deepak Gupta. Then with this letter, these documents are attached, enclosures, first receipt and second guarantee card. So this is the way to write complaint letters. The format is same as you have already done. First step is to write sender's address, then date, then receiver's address, then salutation, then subject, then body of the letter or content. After that, subscription, and then name or signature. Thank you. If you like our videos, please press like button and subscribe our channel.